Hello, hello, hello. This is Tales of the Unknown, and I'm here with another update having to do with the Dallas Mavericks. And no, it has nothing to do with the play-in, which is something I still plan on watching. But no, this has to do with their GM, Nico Harrison, having to be more tone deaf than ever. Um, let's just go ahead and jump right into this. So if you haven't heard or haven't been paying attention, uh, Nico Harrison called for an a press conference, a press conference where no listening devices, no cameras, and only a select few of reporters were allowed to be in this press conference. And it's Nico Harrison doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, however much more you want to talk about it, on the whole AD Luka trade. I was one of the ones that was to say, you know what, once we get it kind of out of our system, let's just not, I'm necessarily not say let's not talk about it anymore, but it's more like, let's go ahead and support our team. They're heading into the play-in, getting ready to play the Sacramento Kings, and then this happens a day before they play. Now, I plan on putting out this video the day of the play-in. I don't know if I'm gonna do it before, or I'm gonna do it after, but this happened. This right here, this press conference happened a day before, and it's just Nico Harrison saying the same old thing. Him right here in this. If you haven't been reading this article while I'm talking about it, Harrison said, "I think the biggest misunderstanding why this trade happened is that we feel defense wins championships." Now that has been the phrase he has used every time he has spoken to the media. Defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. I'm sorry, but let's keep it a buck. Weren't the Lakers before the Luka trade one of the worst defensive rated teams in the Western Conference? And they were in 10th place. After the trade happened, the Lakers became a better defensive team and are the second seed, the second place in the Western Conference. So, yeah, Nico, seems like defense wins championships, but also if you have one hell of a generational talent, you can get pretty far. Just look at last year, what happened there. Okay, so then Tim Cato basically went ahead and asked Nico, Nico, you keep saying that the fans will come back if the team wins. What do you feel is your responsibility to the fan base when there's a player as beloved as Luka? Again, his response is, my responsibility to the fan base is to put a championship caliber team on the floor. We're going to be judged by wins and losses. Well, you can give him some sort of leeway because, guys have been getting hurt. But then again, guys have been getting hurt because you had a team doctor for years and you let him go because he was close to Luka. He was part of Luka's inner circle. And he was one of the people you let go. And after that, we suffered losses, injury losses as big as this. Like a bug went around. Like, it just bit the hell out of everyone. And so everyone got hurt. But we've seen how this team can play if they had a full strength team. We saw that for like 3 quarters in Houston, I believe. So there's promise, but there still doesn't make up for the things, the decisions that were made, the cloak and dagger BS. But here it is. This is what Nico Harrison also added. My obligation is to the Dallas Mavericks. It's what's the best interest of the Dallas Mavericks. And that's the most important thing. And some of those decisions are going to be unpopular, maybe to Dirk and maybe to the fans, but my obligation is to the Dallas Mavericks. So it's about putting the Dallas Maverick organization ahead. Let me see if there's any more here, because I believe that was okay. It was just one of the most ridiculous things to say, and let me pull up another thing. I think I have it on my phone here. If anybody hears that, that's one of the dogs just having a really good sleep right now. Okay, and another thing that he has been said is that Nico Harrison does not regret the trade one bit. He said, "There's no regrets on this trade. Part of my job is to do the best thing for the Mavericks, not only today but also in the future. And some of the decisions I'm going to make are going to be unpopular. That's my job, and I have to stand by it. But our philosophy, like I said, going forward is defense wins championships." There it is again. "And we're built on defense, and this trade cements us for that." Basically, he says that his obligation, his responsibility to the fan base is to put a championship caliber team on the floor. But you literally had that. You literally had that. We went to the finals last year. We went to the finals like last year, dude. Like last freaking year. And you do this? It's mind-boggling to me how tone deaf and how dumb this all just is. It just it seems like God, it's just so crazy to think about. We were like a year ago. We would never have thought that Nico would have done something like this. If we were all saying, in Nico we trust because there were just trades and all these moves he was making. So how did he go from there to do a complete 180 and decide that Luka was the problem? What, because he doesn't play defense like a lot of the other guys? The thing is, you have players on that team. What they're trying to do is do what Boston does and try to have almost everybody that's on the floor play defense. That's what he's trying to do, and that doesn't make a lick of sense, because sometimes you can have that. You can't have that. Let me tell you, for as much as the other players have to make up for Luka lacking defense, Luka has had to pick up the slack for those who lack the offense to play on that court. So it's just mind-boggling to me how you get rid of somebody at 25. It's one thing if it's 31. It's one thing if it's 31. You're like, okay, well, you're still not getting it. You're still not doing it. We're not paying the Supermax deal. He's 25. The dude is 25. 26 now, I believe. And you let this man go because he didn't get into shape. He smokes too much hookah. He drinks beer. He's doing all that. Let's say that. Drinking beer, smoking hookah. And yet, he's putting up the numbers he's putting. He carried a team, helped carry a team on his back. Get them to the NBA Finals against a very great Boston Celtics team. And he's the problem? No, Nico. Either one or two things is happening here. Either all of a sudden you got hit with the stupid stick, or there's obvious collusion. Now, I hate bringing up conspiracies and stuff like that, and it's everyone's talking about. It's just so unsubstantiated. You hear the other guys talk about it and say that there's no real basis for these allegations of conspiracy. But who would have ever thought Luka was going to get traded? Which came out of far out of left field. And you hear those allegations of those trades, but you never think that they would ever do it, because who would be stupid enough to do it? So what if they were not stupid? What if this was all just collusion? For the NBA to get their viewership back up, the Lakers were falling apart, because without LeBron, who do the Lakers have? They were going to get stuck with AD. Now, AD is a hell of a talent. I'm never going to take that away from him. But he's no Luka Doncic. He's not box office. Okay? He's not box office. So what were you going to have? This and for the Mavericks to essentially get, and I'm not taking away from AD. But you just got AD, who is 31, has problems staying healthy. You got Max Christie, I like Max Christie. But you don't get Austin Reeves. You don't get Dalton Connect. You don't get a slew of first round picks. You literally got nothing for this. You just gave Luka away. And even then, there'd be some out there who would say, well, at least they got some Austin Reeves or Connect. or like a slew of first round picks, but you got nothing for it. Really? You didn't get the trade value that Luka was worth, which made it even worse. And now viewership's starting to go up, and then now you're going to have possibly the Lakers and the Celtics going back and forth in the NBA Finals. Money's going to go up. And it just seems like it's what's happening here. The Mavericks let go. Porzingis ends up going, I believe, to Washington. And then he goes over to Boston. Wins a championship there because Dallas let him go. Then, before that, you had the Jalen Brunson walk. That was part of the Mark Cuban thing, but I believe Nico was there at the time. And now Brunson is killing it in New York. You let Luka go to the Lakers, who were flailing. Who basically, I'm sorry, I mean, you can have LeBron, but literally they were not even going to win a ring this year without getting Luka. They weren't going to win it. Let's be for real about that. You had an aging player who felt like he had to do everything. It wasn't going to work. Now it is, because Luka is the guy now. He's the guy in LA. And finally it took him getting to Los Angeles to finally market him better in the Jordan brand and in the NBA thus. And now everybody wants to kind of talk happily about Luka. Like they weren't talking smack, especially Brian Windhorst, that guy. I have not heard a single negative thing about Luka since he's joined the Lakers, especially from that guy. Because when he was a Maverick, oh, you used to say, oh well, he's not in shape. Oh, he's not this. Oh well, if he doesn't get his act together, he's never gonna be a winner. Now that he's a Laker, either you hear positive things about Luka. That's all you hear now, and that's what you're starting to see a lot of in the media. And again, going back to the point, then they gave up Quentin Grimes. That man was balling when Luka was hurt. He was another ball handler that the Mavericks sorely needed. And we traded him to Philly for Caleb Martin, who has done diddly squat for this team. How can there not be collusion when all of this seems to be happening to benefit the league around? The Mavs moves to moving all-star MVP generational talent around the league, and the Mavericks get absolutely nothing for it. How can you not say that there's not collusion when the evidence is just staring you in the face, and it just seems like this is just something that has been handed down from the top all the way down to the bottom. It seems like they're getting ready to move to Vegas. That's what it seems like to me. Mark Cuban pointed it out. He's been losing money every year is one of the reasons why he gave up the Dallas Mavericks. Losing money every year. And so what do you see? Even if you have attendance that's high and you're still losing money, what can you do? They wanted to make a Venetian Dallas experience here. They wanted to move the Dallas Maverick new home. They wanted to put the Dallas Mavericks in a new home and surrounded with casinos. But Texas ain't going for that. So what's the next possible solution? Oh, okay. Well, we'll just destroy a franchise to the point where its value goes all the way down in that certain fan base, in that certain city, and we'll go to the NBA and we'll move it to Vegas. So we can go out and just make more money for the league. That's what this seems like. And Adam Silver, he can stand up there in the press conference and give you, look you dead in your eye, and we would know that he's lying. Because Nico Harrison made smart move after smart move after smart move, and then all of a sudden now it's a dumbass move here and a dumbass move there and a dumbass move there. It just doesn't make sense that all of a sudden he just lost IQ points along the way. So the only thing that makes sense is that he got a directive to tank this team. Now he says that they're going to be judged by wins and losses, that they have a window of opportunity here. Kyrie's hurt. He's probably not going to play most of next season. Anthony Davis, I don't know how long you're going with that. I don't know what's going to happen with Anthony Davis. Now there's talks about possibly trading for KD, Kevin Durant. Now, I like Kevin, but I do not want to give up any more people that we've already given up. Because you know who's next going to be on the chopping block? Probably PJ. Or probably Najee. Najee's been balling out today. I'm pretty sure his trade value just went up. It does not seem like this is in the best interest of the fan base. I believe there was a quote where he said that it's not an obligation to the fan base of the Dallas Mavericks, even though it says right here there was another quote I believe that he said that. And so which one is it? You know? the Dallas Mavericks fan base, the MFFLs make they make the organization, they make the Dallas Mavericks what they are. Without them, this organization is nothing. Jason Kidd came out and said that we eventually have to get over it. Luka said it too, but then Jason Kidd said that this is being marked just as the same as the Babe Ruth trade. Oh, I guess that's kind of cool. I guess that's kind of cool. Are you serious? That was the worst trade in sports history, and now the Luka trade is just right there next to it. I tried to defend. I really did try to defend Jason Kidd, and now I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. When he said that, I was like, "Ah, damn, he's a part of this too." I didn't want to believe it because there's instances where people wanted to say that Jason Kidd had nothing to do with this, but I mean, Jason Kidd has something to do with this, but there's been times in life, and you see this now, I'm going to make a comparison here, where you get with somebody and you swear you know them to high heaven. You swear you know them. And then the next thing you know, they're being arrested for being a serial killer. And then it's a whole thing where everyone's just looking at you like, how could they not have known? How could they not have known this was going on? Jason Kidd, and I put Jason Kidd in that category as the one who married someone who they thought they knew everything about, and turned out that they were a serial killer. But now, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Jason Kidd. He could be just a part of it too. Just when you try to let things go, and this gets brought up, all because Nico got his feelings hurt because they wanted Nico fired. And it's one that came up because after Luka returned to Dallas and how much love he got and how much love he gave back to the city. Even after the game was over, he was over there as a cashier at Dickies. There's another article that came out that he went and he sent money to someone's GoFundMe for equipment, I believe. He was Dallas through and through, and this whole thing where, again, it was another quote. You search it online. I'm not doing it right now. I'm so pissed. Where they weren't sure. Nico was not sure that he was going to sign the max. And Tim McMahon, of all people, actually was giving him some... was actually staying on him for this and was saying that, did you see him on the bench? He was going to sign the max. Luka, and the bench, what he's talking about is Luka balling during the tribute video. He was going to sign the max. Well, Nico Harrison's like, I agree to disagree. Oh my God, you can't be that stupid and that tone deaf. So it's either you're stupid or you're in collusion. Either way, see, I'm not even talking. I'm so angry right now. Oh my God, us Mavs fans got screwed either way, whether it was stupidity or collusion. Us Mavs fans got screwed. And now we have to live with that for the rest of our lives. We have to actually be in this damn timeline where we said, yeah, our general manager traded our generational talent because he believes defense wins championships. I believe when Luka got hurt, it gave him the opening to do what he did and get rid of Luka Doncic. And Dumont, as dumb as he was like, oh, okay, well, I guess he knows sports, and went behind also Mark Cuban's back. And now people want to blame Mark Cuban for it. I can't necessarily blame that man for it. If Luka don't blame him, don't blame Mark Cuban. Honestly, get over it. Stop blaming Mark Cuban for that. If Luka can stand there, if Luka and Luka's dad can stand there and still be cool with him, Mark Cuban to me is cool. Just because he made the dumbass decision to do a handshake agreement and he got screwed. How many times has that happened in our lives, where we have friends that we believe in and we're like, yeah, they'll take them at your word, because the NBA wouldn't put that in a contract for him to hold on to basketball operations. So you just go by a handshake agreement. How many of us have trusted a friend, believed their word, and then got stabbed in the back for it? That's what happened. So no, I don't blame Mark Cuban. And the amount of discourse online for blaming Mark Cuban, it is ridiculous. But all in all, what this whole thing was just another thing for Nico Harrison to just puff out his chest and say, yo, defense wins championships. That's what my job is we're going to be judged by wins and losses. I was about to actually make a video about when I was seeing all the stuff that Luka was still doing, even though, for Dallas, even though he was gone. That was said, you know what? If we got rid of Nico Harrison, if we got rid of maybe Patrick Dumont, and we issued an apology, and we made Luka everything, gave for the offseason, gave Luka everything he wanted, gave him one of the biggest contracts ever, gave him a lot of power on from this franchise, this organization, that Luka would be like, okay, I'll come back. I love this place. I want to come back. But after this press conference, that all got shot to hell, because there's no way now they're ever going to admit that they did anything wrong. Whether it was stupidity or collusion, they'll never admit how wrong they are. How wrong they were and how wrong they are for what happened on February 1st. They'll never admit it. Nobody from the top to the bottom of this organization, and now the players, who I feel even worse for, have to deal with that fallout as much as the fans do, because now the fans, all they're chanting now is fire Nico, and it's messing with these Mavs players, because the Mavs players now, they don't feel like they have that kind of support from their fan base like they should, because of the actions of the guys above them. And that's the sad part. That we are feeding into it, and they're giving us even more ammunition to not even want to go to their games. And it's giving them more ammunition to move a franchise that we've loved for so many years go off to fucking Vegas. Because the NBA decided that Dallas is not the destination that they want for an NBA franchise anymore. That's the sad part. But like I have been saying, I'm still going to support the players. I'm still going to root for them. And every time it's still going to hurt. It's not, even if they win a championship, it's not going to hit the same because Luka's not there. But I still believe in Kyrie. That man right there, we have to throw every bit of support down his way, because he's going to be going through it. And he suffered a loss too, because him and Luka were close. This was a gut shot to everyone who was not involved in that whole thing. Anyways, I just want to go ahead and just give my opinion on that. And it's tough. It is a tough time to be a Dallas Mavericks fan, honestly. And this whole thing has completely left Jerry Jones, the Joneses, off the hook, because now stupidity we assign now to Nico Harrison. But you know what? AAC is now exclusively the home of the Dallas Stars. That's hey, if I'm going to the AAC, it's either going to be for a WWE event, Raw or SmackDown, or maybe even a PLE, and the Dallas Stars. I will always support my players, but I'm gonna do it from I'm gonna do it from home. I'm not gonna go up there and have to be watched and relegated and being told I can't wear this or can't hold this or can't chant this by security guards and get myself into a situation that I don't want to be in. So you know what? I'll support them from home always, but I'm not going to be going to a Mavs game. This was the worst thing to ever happen to God. If I'm thinking, this is the worst thing to ever happen to a Dallas-based team ever. And this is going up there at least top 5 worst trades in sports history. And it's not 5, 4, or 3. Alright, I think I'm done venting. I think I've gotten everything I wanted to say off my chest. It's not even worth saying fire Nico because he's not getting fired. He's not getting fired. This man just laid his he's not getting fired. And that's the sad thing. Luca, love you. Wish you nothing but the best. I will be rooting for, and I hate saying I'm rooting for the Lakers, but I am rooting for you, Luca. I am rooting for Luca. Go get that ring. Go get several rings. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna head off now. It's getting late, so I'm gonna go head off bed now. But thank you guys for sticking around. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video. So, my eyes are like, Alright. It's like, that's late. It is so late. Alright, I'm off. Have a great night, you guys.